I'm out solar eclipse in Pisces with Tarbajapata. I've been trying to get them Jones real quick. Less than 30. Right? 15 ideally. So salutations to Sri Ganesh, who has curved trunk, large body, and whose splendor is similar to a million suns. O Lord, please make my undertaking free of obstacles by extending your blessings in all my work always. Right, so this is sidereal chart for Moon and Pisces, right? And the star of Tarbajapata. New moons naturally they set intention, they give you an idea what the next 30 days is going to look like. You feel me? The next 2 weeks for sure, up until the illumination and revelation that the full moon give you, right? But for the 30 days, it's new moon. So it's a huge stellium in Pisces. It's a lot going on in Pisces. So new moon's time of stillness, they characterize what's going to go on during the next 30 days. The star Uttara Bhadrapada is associated with introspection, transformation, deep wisdom, and like the depths of one's consciousness. The symbol is the back legs of a hearse. It shows endings and beginnings, but it's just kind of moving on from the past life, moving on from past limitations, moving on from the past external experiences, and kind of like integrating them into a brand new experience. You dig what I'm saying? So you got moon conjunct sun, of course. That's just about like setting intentions. That's a new moon. Moon with Mercury retrograde maybe bring confusion to how like you communicate and express yourself. It's a little muddled. It's a little cryptic. Moon conjunct Venus brings love, lust, enjoyments, passion, potency, attraction, makeovers, all of that stuff to the surface. Moon is with an exalted Venus. So it's like your ideal partner. And it's retrograde Venus. So it's like somebody that you love has come back, and hopefully it's an ideal partnership and shit. And it's with Rahu, you're moving forward in that partnership. You know what I'm saying? Saturn is not quite in Pisces yet, but his effects kind of will be felt. Saturn is either grief or longevity, So continuing on, what is Pisces new moon? New moon in Pisces is the intention to adapt through imagination, faith, and grace, or compassion. Pisces is transcendental, ethereal, empathetic, and compassionate. It is the field of evolution, right? In Pisces, 12 houses, like going into other worlds. To go into other worlds, you have to shed the layers of yourself in this world. You got to shed that so you evolve through those things. Eclipse in Pisces can destabilize a lot of the illusions and self-sabotage and fears and secrets that one had on the outside, outward mask and stuff like that. And on the inside, very deeply spiritual, deeply introspective, deeply transformative on a psychological level. And because it's an eclipse in Pisces, it's a very, 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 very good time for spiritual practices. You know what I'm saying? In this field of evolution. So prayer, meditation, mantras, all these things. Even during this whole month, I ain't gonna cap, other than that, for the transit of Pisces, very favorable. Moon is 5th lord of romance. Venus is 3rd lord of efforts and secrecy and transformation with moon, right? And then moon, we talk about that. So 5 things to try this month, moon and Pisces. The first one is the dream. Pisces and the 12th house is the house of dreams, imaginations, other worlds, foreign trips, right? Space, actual space, the subconscious mind. So are you using your imagination to generate your outer expression? 2 is face your fears. The 12th house is the place where we can find ourselves trapped. It is a house of isolation. It is a house of imprisonment on the negative end. Places where you can get locked away somewhere else or exiled. And then just in your mind, you can kind of shut down or be shut out, right? secrets, lies. So consider where you might be lying to yourself or be being lied to by others, right? Or where others might be lying to you at, because 12th house is also the place of secret enemies. But if it are no secret enemies, it's you. So you might can sabotage yourself. So face your fears, right? 3, get cosmic. Pisces, 12th house, incredibly mystical. It is 4th to the 9th house of God. So it's the root of truth, the root of God, like the source, like the home, the like that place. You know what I'm saying? So it's a great time to tap in with your intuition, spiritual energies, and stuff like that. 4 is heal. 12th house Pisces is healing. It is the lymphatic system. It shows detox, getting rid of things in the body. 12th house also shows hospice, nurseries, daycares to a degree, and hospitals, places where people get treated for things, right? Emotionally and spiritually, it's a very good time because it's Pisces. You just let go and surrender. You got to be able to let go and surrender to God, because once again, Pisces is 4th to the 9th house, so it's rooted in truth. So your attachments, things you hold on to, they cause distortions, impairments in our energetic fields, and it could create more lunacy or more counterfeit personality. 5 is surrender. 1 exercise, write down your dreams, what you want, what your fantasies are. Surrender the intent to the universe and trust that things are happening for you. Practicing things like yoga and meditation could very well prove useful this month. So the star, moving forward to the star, let me check my time. 6 minutes, this is beautiful. So Uttara Bhadrapada is the scorching pair. Uttara Bhadrapada in the scorching pair is the warrior star, right? But it's actually quite gentle, patient, humble, you dig what I'm saying, and generous. So Uttara Bhadrapada. Uttara means supreme, Bhadra means blessed, lucky, fortunate, and then Pada is a foot or a step, a path. So it means the ultimate blessed steps, the ultimate path towards fortune. You dig what I'm saying? So it suggests that the last step before exit. Well, not even the last step. Parva Bhadrapada is the last step before exit. Uttara Bhadrapada is where you just like, you both feet in. You're moving towards just total release, total surrender, going towards things like salvation, deep spirituality. You just turn towards the grace of God in life. You want what God wants for you. 4th to the 9th house. 4th house is a house of support and receiving. You dig what I'm saying? And nurturing. So you're being nurtured, received, supported by God in this 12th house. And with this eclipse, it's kind of like pointing that globally, all over, we all kind of going to start seeing a turn towards God and more. You feel me? So Ahirbudnya is the presiding deity for this star. He is a Rudra, which is kind of like a destructive, transformative force, and a Naga, which is a very wise, kind of like not sneaky, but mysterious, we'll call it. So it's just the transformative forces of nature, the regenerative cycles of nature. Known as the serpent of the deep, Ahirbudnya holds the burden of all the worlds, yet has no foundation for himself. So my understanding, Ahirbudnya and Aja Ekapada are like a pair for the Bhadrapada stars. So Aja Ekapada, what I say, Ahirbudnya is to the coccyx and the sacrum in the body, as Aja Ekapada is to the atlas and axis in the human body. So the atlas and axis are 2 parts in the spine located just beneath the skull, and it holds the skull up. That is the serpent of the sky. He holds up this celestial sphere, your head, your vault, the vault of heaven. And then Ahirbudnya is the serpent of the deep. He sits below the waters of your sacral chakra in the underworld of Varuna. Way at the bottom, he holds all the worlds up. So that's the coccyx and tailbone. And like when you look at this image, it kind of look like it could be the head of a boa constrictor or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So Ananta Shesha and the mysterious Kundalini energy at the base of the human organism, and the chakra, root chakra, right? That's that energy, right? So the shloka, the coiled serpent above the altar's base. So this is the altar's base. And this could maybe be the coiled serpent, or this would be the coiled serpent above the altar's base, which is like the very bottom, like underneath it, right? Needs to moisten so that it can extract the essence. So what I say, a coiled serpent corresponds to the deep wisdom, Kundalini energy, symbolized by a serpent at the base of the spine. What we could say is an altar. You put sacrifices on the altar. You are a living sacrifice. You dig what I'm saying? You in your life. So root chakra, coccyx, sacrum. In addition to the above named serpents, Ahirbunya Ananta Shesha. Moistening refers to the practice of like libations and what they call abhishekam. I'm probably not the rhythm that I'm saying that not right, but abhishekam is like to consecrate something. You sprinkle water or you pour some type of sacred liquid or symbolic liquid over an object as a process of consecrating it, right? And then extraction refers to what is called abhishinka, which is a grinding, a squeezing, an extraction, or you press. It's like, or like almost like oil pressing. So extraction refers to extracting the essence of something, refers to the grinding and pressing done after having soaked plants or soaked a certain material. In this instance, whatever you are consecrating, you also going to sit and kind of like press it. Either physically you're pressing it down, or mentally you kind of like impressing upon it those soaked plants. So it's a matter of dissolving things. But in alchemy, the oil of a thing is often called the essence of a thing. And in alchemy, it's a whole heating up process. It's a cooling down. Then you have to press, and then you have to stir, right? So, the Shakti of this star is the power to bring rain. Rain brings growth. This star helps us to find our foundations across all the worlds, not just on earth. You feel me? So rain comes from heaven, and all things in heaven do advantage and profit the things on earth. The things on earth do nothing to advantage those things in heaven. So it's an understanding of God's grace. Like on earth, you here to receive. Kabbalah is like the art of receiving, science of receiving. What are you receiving? The prana. You breathing in. You don't think about breathing, but that's a conscious. Your breath is consciousness. It is the spirit. You start breathing, you go what? Unconscious. You pass out. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like to understand like there's the God's grace and things. So rain come down. So we understand that the spiritual, more subtle realms are not separate from the physical realm, but instead blend into and give to the physical realms. Just as rain comes into the earth from the sky, we can kind of get rid of the false dichotomy and the like, oh, this is good, this is bad, or this is this and this is that, and kind of merge the paradox or reconcile the paradox in our consciousness. You dig what I'm saying? That's that deep wisdom. The external experiences are manifestations of an inner essence. So Tarbajapata kind of like, especially this eclipse, it just asks to introspect, look to evolve oneself, right, in their inner essence and find stability. Look for their foundation, their source in it, and which is really going to be the grace of God. You find your stability and your foundation in the grace of God. You find it in your breath. You know what I'm saying? So the spiritual essence that you have to be the spiritual essence that generates the external experience of life, and vice versa. The physical expression of life cannot be disregarded solely for the spiritual. And when we approach the world as if things are sacred, then you can more easily dissolve the outer layers of a thing and understand its essence. That's another skill we develop. Is being able to identify individuals' counterfeit personality up to the degree that like how bad it is or how much it could, get in the way, but then you'll be able to find some compassion once you get past the mask and the false outer layers and the glamour is what they call it of things. So the card for this degree of Pisces is the second deacon of Pisces, and that's nine of cups. So 9 of cups is linked with extreme happiness, wish fulfillment, things like that. You dig what I'm saying? It's a contentment. All his cups lined up. He got a nice little a stool. He matching fancy hat and all of that. He's very, very content. You feel me? He might be bragging because it's all on display and it's all positioned higher than him. You dig what I'm saying? So he get high hopes. Cups could be high hopes. You dig what I'm saying? And that's positive. He not necessarily looking at the cups he got, so he ain't even necessarily admiring it. He's arms crossed, feet out. That look like the full of pentacles. So clearly he got a certain foundation. Just this stance is a foundation, a certain solidity, a firmness, right? Then this fancy hat kind of mean he has, we ain't gonna say grandiose thoughts, but he has real regal, noble thoughts and nobility. I mean, gratitude is a mark for noble souls. So he's being very grateful. He can take care of his things and stuff like that, but he don't necessarily got his eye on it. So he manifesting these things from his mind. Red is the only thing aside from his socks that's like the hat. I mean, and his socks is red. So it's like, it's not to say carnal minded, it's just to say like he's actively active in his mind and his leg work. So he ready to get up and work for his happiness. Stuff like that. You dig what I'm saying? But it start with the mind. The mind is more, the mind and the thoughts and the consciousness is a bit more effective. But you still gonna need a little bit of that physical leg work in order to get those things done. So you read, oh, I forgot, it's not zoomed in, so I'll just read a couple. Wishes and dreams coming true, emotional fulfillment, good fortune, lots of values being offered and received, fame and pleasure, trophy stands, happiness, pride in relationships, contentment, manifestation. It's just luck in business ventures and career, earning respect, finding treasure. Yeah, happy relationships, iron situations, abundance. Okay, we talk about those too. And then, saving symbols. Using glamour as a shield. So protect yourself from unwanted, intrusive energies. The real purpose is not revealed by that glamour, but the real person is. Right? So glamour is like, we might call it makeup and things like that. But glamour is just, it really could just be ego and identity. And then what you might decorate your identity with. So glamour is, one year it was for guys, glamour is alpha male shit. And then next year it's going to be high value man. And then I don't know what it is this year. But all of that's glamour. And it's used to kind of like protect them from themselves. Like, okay, I'm going to be this today because of something else. So a lot of times it's used, it's like, it'd be a lot of finger pointing. Right, so glamour is employed by an initiate as a subtle protective disguise. It is far better to avoid conflict using strategy and device than to attract or precipitate the collision of wills. The range of glamours is much more than pretty clothes and face paint, sexual allure and physical beauty, but includes also the spills of knowledge, sharp intellect, athleticism, and also more self-deprecating attitudes like victimhood and false humility and humble self-righteous service. Anything that tells a story and disguises the full facts is a glamour. and though useful, is a little risky to exercise since it so very often carries the burden of self-deception. Yeah, because it's like you'll forget who you are trying to be all glamorous and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, your glamour, if you trying to be grandiose with your glamour, it will invite people to want to take something from you, maybe. If you are playing on the victimhood and you may invite people that would like to abuse you. You dig what I'm saying? So you would just have to be. So what they say, in a broader sense, glamour symbolizes the dynamic freedom of expression and the power of personal style to influence outcomes. It can enhance individuality, but if overused might lead to losing touch with one's authentic self or becoming bound by societal norms and expectations. Feel me? So you just gotta be careful. Some things, let me do my glamour, get my glam up or whatever, but always, like Pisces is what happens behind closed doors. Pisces is your secret self. Your secret self might be the most private parts of yourself. So every now and then, once you take the glamour off, and you dissolve the glamour and really extract the essence of yourself, and you keep that, that's fine. You tuck it away, that's cool. But do not lie to yourself about things. No bueno. So that was pretty, 20 minutes is awesome.